Are you here because your home isn't selling? Or maybe you're here because you're afraid your home is not going to sell. Now, I know you probably all are saying you know the reason your home is not sold. And I'm going to tell you today that there is only one reason that your home has not sold. Now, I'm going to give you the 10 misconceptions, the 10 reasons you probably think that the home isn't sold. But I'm going to give you the only reason your home is not sold. I have so many people who are watching my videos who reach out to me. They send me links to their homes on Zillow and they say, please tell me, why is my home not selling? I had somebody reach out to me, a couple months ago, a woman who had said, my home isn't selling, the agent isn't very good, she told me not to stage it, and I think it needs to be staged. So I'm going to find a new agent who wants to stage my home. I looked at the pictures and I said, nope, that is not the reason your home is not selling. So let me get into it. I'm going to start with the top 10 misconceptions, the reasons that you are probably saying or believing that your home has not sold. So the number 10 reason why you think your home may not be selling is maybe you think, we don't have great curb appeal. Well, yeah, now curb appeal is really important because that does get people into the home. And I have been in numerous situations where we've driven up to a house and the house doesn't look good on the outside, and then the buyers are like, nope, we are not going in. So while poor curb appeal may lessen your showings, that's not the reason your home hasn't sold. Number 9 reason that you probably say your home hasn't sold: bad listing photos. Now, we've all seen them. I have video upon video about photos, how to take them, what looks good, what does not look good. I'll tell you, many agents are not aware of what actually is a good photo. So maybe you're thinking, my agent took really, really bad photos. Maybe they are bad, but I'm going to tell you, that's not the reason your home hasn't sold. Number 8 reason that you may be thinking that your home hasn't sold: maybe you have bad staging and your agent didn't help you. Now, staging, as we know, is incredibly important. When I talk about staging, I'm not necessarily talking about bringing in new furniture. I'm talking about reworking what you have in your room. Maybe it's pushing furniture closer together. Maybe it's getting rid of some. Maybe it's buying a few accessories or changing out a rug. And maybe you're thinking, my agent didn't stage my home, and that is why you're thinking maybe your home hasn't sold. But I'm telling you, that is not the reason your home hasn't sold. So the number 7 reason that maybe you're saying that your home hasn't sold is that it doesn't show well. Now, this is a big one because my whole channel is about getting your home ready to sell. And many of you maybe who are watching right now, your home is not selling, and that's how you found me. And maybe you're thinking, it just doesn't show well. I didn't do these great things. I didn't get it ready. And you haven't had the benefit of watching all of my videos. This is probably the most significant thing that you can do to make more money when you go to sell, but this is not the reason your home has not sold. The number 6 reason that you think that your home has not sold. Now, this one I like, because this one is a very, very common excuse. And as an agent, I see this all the time. So that is a lack of marketing by your real estate agent. Let me talk to you about what marketing means. Marketing means photos. It means reaching out to the agents, getting it into the MLS, getting it shot out to all of the websites. Marketing does not mean print advertising. Print advertising to sell somebody's home doesn't work. It just literally does not work. Sometimes online ads can work, can help get it out to the public, but truly, the reason why more people are going to come into the home is because you have great pictures and it's shot out in the MLS to other websites, and the agents, the other real estate agents, have seen it and are bringing it to their clients. So what I want to ask you is, if you're here and you're thinking, my home hasn't sold, we need more marketing. I need to tell my agent we need more marketing. If you're getting showings, your marketing is working. I want you to keep that in mind. If you're getting showings, your marketing is working. But that is not going to get you an offer. More marketing will not get you an offer. So you may be saying you need more marketing in order to get your home sold, and that still is not the reason your home hasn't sold. So now if you're thinking maybe your pictures really are bad, and a lot of times I show really, really bad pictures, and if you want to make sure that you don't have an agent who takes bad pictures, I want you to reach out to me directly. We have a QR code there, a link below. I do research specifically on agents in your town. We do not allow agents to pay us to be in our network. So any agents that we are referring because they are the best agents in your community, or they are the best agents in your area, and they have numerous transactions and they have great marketing. So we're looking at their listing photos, we're looking at their social media profiles, and we're looking at their online presence. And then we're giving you 3 choices to choose from that you can interview. Now, there's no cost to you on this, and we become your partner in trying to help you figure out who is a great agent. We've had a lot of people who we've given agents to, and then they're sort of undecided. And they reach back out to us and they ask us some questions, and then I go through it with them and I talk to them about the pros and the cons of the different agents and what they're really looking for. So we are there as your guide to get you the right agents. So our goal is to refer out 1,000 sellers. Yes, 1,000 sellers by the end of the year. So make sure you go ahead, click the link below or use the QR code, and let us start helping you find an agent today. The number 5 reason that you think that your home hasn't sold is accompanied showings. Yes, accompanied showings. I could do a whole video on this. Now, accompanied showings are when the listing agent goes to the house along with the buyer and the buyer's agent. The only people who like the accompanied showings are the sellers. Having the listing agent at the showings is very uncomfortable for the buyers and the buyer's agents. Now, I'm not talking about homes that are maybe over $1 million, where there are a lot of things that need to be pointed out, a lot of luxuries. Maybe there's a lot of questions with that. In addition, those showings are not as frequent as probably the ones that are $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes. And I get a lot of sellers who say, I want all of my showings accompanied by the listing agent. And I say, let me tell you why that's really not a great idea, because it's going to limit your showings. The reason is it's very hard to get the buyer, the buyer's agent, and the seller to agree on a time that works. Now, when you throw in a listing agent whose number 1 priority is not necessarily to accompany your showings, who has another 10, 20 listings, it is very hard to get that on the calendar. It is very hard to get that scheduled. So that means that you probably are not going to have as many showings if you are asking for accompanied showings. It is just very, very logistically difficult. So if you think that your home hasn't sold because you don't have accompanied showings, that's not the reason. Number 4, you're saying you have a bad location and that's why your home hasn't sold. Okay, there are bad locations. I mean, lots of bad locations, but that's not the reason that your home has not sold. Now, I'm going to tell you, I can sell any home in any location. So a location is not a reason that your home has not sold. So the number 3 reason that maybe you're saying that your home hasn't sold is maybe you just think you're in a bad market right now. That's not true either. That is not the reason that your home hasn't sold. So we're at number 2. The reason you believe that your home hasn't sold is because your house is not updated. Okay, now that is a factor in how much you're going to get for your house. Maybe people come in and they don't want to do work. That is a reason. However, I'm going to tell you that is not the reason that your home has not sold. And the number 1 reason you are probably saying that your home has not sold is that you have a bad real estate agent. Now, there are many, many bad real estate agents out there. We know, I've talked about it. Yes, that could be a factor in what's going on with your home. However, I have so many people who call me saying that their agent is bad. Now, this might be a runner-up as to the real reason why I think your home hasn't sold. And, I can argue with you a little bit about this one, because if your agent hasn't told you the real reason your home hasn't sold, then yeah, I'm going to blame your agent on that. But in reality, your real estate agent is not the reason your home has not sold. Okay, before I get to the reason why your home hasn't sold, if you guys remember, I've got my seller's playbook. I'm not going to talk too much about it. We've had about 10,000 downloads on it, and it is 26 pages of information for you on how to get your home ready to sell. Now, let me tell you, the real reason that your home has not sold, and you're probably going to say, yeah, I knew this all along. I knew this is what you were going to say, but that's not the reason. No, the real reason your home has not sold is because your price is too high. Bottom line, end of story. Now don't leave. Please don't leave yet. I want to explain this. I want to talk this through with you so that you can understand what I'm saying. Now I'm going to get a lot of comments about this as real estate agents just want to charge 6% and then lower the price and sell it really quick. No, that's not what's happening here. If you guys know me, you know long enough that I am honest about what I'm talking to you about. I give you the real inside scoop. So let me explain this in detail. If it's not sold, your price is too high. The reason is because all of your objections bad layout, your curb appeal is bad, time of year, all these objections. Any objection that you have to your house can be overcome by a lower price. Now, I'm going to give it to you kind of easy here. Let's pretend that I listed your house for $1. Now, this is an exaggeration just to prove a point, but let's pretend I listed it for $1. Would you hear that your location is bad? Would you hear that your kitchen is not updated? Would you hear any objection to your house at all whatsoever? No, you wouldn't, because all objections can be overcome by a lower price. Now, this video isn't just for sellers right now. This is for real estate agents, because I see so many agents who post all online in these Facebook groups, help, I can't get my home sold. And I don't even need to take a look at the house. I know it's because the price is too high. And so if your agent has not talked to you about the fact that your price is too high, then yes, I'm going to say it's your agent's fault that your home has not sold. But if you are on the market for a long time and you have not gotten an offer, or it's too low of an offer, or whatever it is, your price is too high. Here's my rule of thumb, and I tell everybody this before I start working with them. If you put your home on the market and you get very, very few showings in the first 2 weeks on the market, or you have 15 showings and no offers, your price is too high. That's it, bottom line. Because if you're getting showings, remember what I said, your marketing is working. The marketing is getting the people into the home. They are choosing not to make an offer when they get into the home. Now, why is that? You could say maybe it's poor condition. Well, right, but if you lower the price, then you won't hear any objections about the poor condition. So the key is making sure that you're pricing your home correctly right out of the gate. I want to talk about the pitfalls about overpricing your home. I talk about this all the time, but I'm being super, super serious. If you hit the market wrong with your price, you could be costing yourself tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I swear to God, it's true, and I've seen it numerous times, not just with my listings, but many, many listings. So the first 2 weeks that you're on the market, you're going to get the people who are most interested in your home. That's because they are ready to go. Most of the time, they usually have a real estate agent they're already working with. They've been pre-approved. They might even have lost out on another home. So in your first 2 weeks, you have to make sure you're getting as many showings as possible. If you price your home too high or out of their search criteria, they will not be coming into the house. So if the house really is probably worth $490 and you're pricing the home at $600,000, those people are not going to see that house because it's not coming into their search criteria. So you really need to think about making sure you're hitting those people's search criteria when you put your home on the market. Also, as we know, people have a problem with homes that have been on the market for a long time. If you've seen a home that's on the market for 360 days, you say there is something definitely wrong with it. And I have a whole video about that, a home that has been on the market for 900 days. But let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with the home. The home, it has some issues. It's not painted well. There's some issues with the house. Some of the marketing photos aren't great. But let me tell you, it's not because of the photos. It's not because of the condition. It's because the price is too high. That house won't even appraise out if they get the price that they're looking for. So when you price a home too high, you're going to get fewer showings. And then when people do come into the house, so let's say you have a house in a great location and you're like, I am going to overprice this house because it's in a fantastic location. I have fantastic things in this house. I've done so many wonderful updates. People are going to come to see the house. Okay, and they might. I have had that where people do come to the house just because of the location it's in, even though the price is too high. But what happens is they get into the house and they think, oh, I can't afford this. There's too much work to do. Or it's way overpriced. It's never going to appraise. So then they hesitate. They hesitate to pull the trigger because they're like, gosh, you know what? I think this home is priced too high. And if somebody else is willing to pay it, then I'm fine with that. So those people are the ones who your buyers are, and you're turning them away. You've gotten them into the house. They're there. They want this. They bid on another house. They have a pre-approval letter. They're ready to go. And you've turned them off because the price is too high. But many of you are going to say, why don't these buyers then just lowball? Why don't they just make an offer? That's not how it works. Now, you've listed your house at a huge number that you are expecting to get. The buyers know that. The buyer's agents know that. They are not going to come in and waste their time by writing up a contract for you where you say, I am absolutely not taking that. I am offended by your offer. They're not going to do it. So instead, what they do is they think about it. They say, you know what, we'll think about it. They walk away and another house comes on the market that's less money than yours. So there are some real psychological tricks that you have to play with the buyers. And it's not about pricing the home too low, but you have to price it strategically. And this is where your agent needs to understand pricing. I believe that pricing is one of my greatest skills as a real estate agent. And if your agent is not talking to you about strategy, you need to talk to your agent. You need to say, I need you to tell me, what is the price that you think this house should be? Sometimes agents are afraid to get their clients upset. This is where inexperienced agents have a hard time balancing being a salesperson and being a consultant because they don't want to lose the listing. Experienced agents say to their sellers, if you do not reduce your price, you are not going to sell, or you are going to sell 6 months from now and you are going to sell at a much, much lower price. And so when the agents don't even understand this, when the agents don't understand that the price is the issue, when the agents start throwing more money at marketing, that shows that they don't understand the significance of pricing. And you need to have that very, very serious conversation with them right now. So if you haven't gotten this yet, I want to give you an analogy that I think is maybe going to hit home. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're not Taylor Swift fans, but we know how much those tickets are going for. Incredible amount of money. So let's pretend that you've decided you're going to buy a ticket to the Taylor Swift concert for your granddaughter. And you go and you look and you see 2 tickets, one for the front row, which is $10,000. Front row Taylor Swift, $10,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. But now you see one that's $10,000, but it's behind the stage. Which one would you buy? If you had $10,000 to spend, you would buy the front row seat because that is a better seat than the one behind the stage. So now let's pretend that the seller of the tickets behind the stage, your real estate agent, is saying, but wait, my seats are much, much better because they've upgraded them. It's luxury seating and you get a free massage and you get free drinks. It's a much, much better seat than the front row. Are you going to be swayed? Because you're like, no, it's not. It's really not. You can't see Taylor Swift from behind the stage, but you could see Taylor Swift from the front of the stage. You are not going to be swayed. That's what I'm saying, is the only way to get somebody to buy those seats behind the stage is to continue to reduce the price until it gets to a point where there is a market for it. Now, those Taylor Swift tickets behind the stage will sell, but they will sell for a premium. Okay, so that is an objection. Being behind the stage is an objection. And what I've said, all objections can be overcome by a lower price. So if you're in this situation right now where your home is not selling, you're feeling desperate, you're feeling scared, you're worried, you don't know what to do. I've seen this so many times. You have to understand the market value of your home. There are 2 different numbers. You need to understand the market value and the appraised value of your home. The appraised value is going to give you an apples to apples assessment. And that is market dependent because if you are 6 months or a year behind a market, the market could be different. So now what you're doing is you're looking at your appraised comp. You're saying, well, that house across the street sold. Why shouldn't we sell for the price of that house? Well, if the market is different, that's your appraised value. However, that's not market value. If your market is going down, the market is not as good. Your value of your home is less than the appraised value. You need to understand that. A buyer will pay what a home is worth to them. A buyer will pay what a home is worth to them. Just because you want something for your house does not mean a buyer is going to pay that, especially if there's a lot of inventory on the market. So if you're in this situation, if your home has not sold and you are worried, you have to go to your agent and you have to ask, what is the price that my home is a sell now price? I'm not telling you to list it at that price. You need to understand what is the sell now price. And it may be $200,000 less than what you think. Like if you had to let go of it today, what is that price? You want your agent to say to you, what is that price? And you need to say to your agent, I need you to be honest with me. What is the price to sell now? Tell me right now. Be honest with me. That agent is going to tell you and you're going to say, holy cow. Now that's not the price I'm suggesting that you go to, but in your mind, you need to understand your market. And your agent needs to be honest with you and tell you, I'm sorry, there's nothing else we can do. All objections can be overcome by a lower price. I've seen many people who have carry costs, many people who need to get out all the money they can. And if they're not quick with the market, if they're not going under the market rather than riding it down 5,000 price increments, that's not going to work. You need to get under the market. You need to know what is that price to sell now. And then you need to have an honest assessment with your agent about what that looks like. Where do we need to be right now to get under the market so that I can sell right now? And in this conversation, this video, you may realize that you're not going to get what you want for your home. And if that's the case, you better know now. So you better know what you're getting for your home right now or move on. So are you going to take your home off the market? Are you going to rent it out? Are you underwater? I mean, these are some serious questions that I have from sellers. I get people crying, calling me saying, what do I do? What do I do? And I say, you've got to reduce your price. You need to reduce it by $50,000. And they're like, we can't afford it. We're going to be underwater. And I say, well, then you better take it off the market and figure out what you're going to do. So that may be where you guys are at. You always know, reach out to me. You can join my Facebook group where you can get information like this from us, the other people in the group. It's a great collaborative community. And if you are thinking about putting your home on the market, it is imperative that you make sure you know what is the price to sell now. Because your price is not what you believe. Your price is what your buyers believe.